trees.
Prevent mind control from getting the kill, but even get Alco's picked up on.
It's about it.
It's just too hard for them to commit on killing a directly 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. What's the old phrase, right? This delete one hero before the fight begins because they have to deal with the Doom. ET is now jumped up to the top lane. Thanks to the Observer Ward from Virtus Pro, they are fully aware. The round effect is SK who TP's down to bottom lane trying to add pressure to mind control.
They look like such a good but they didn't quite initiate quickly. He probably should have.
It's create space, able to get the double stun on both Solo as well as Roger. Miracle wants to find
his creep nuke, which most of the time can't be afforded, but it's only 50 mana for some of the with a soul.
They want to have a crack at him. Yeah, GH going to go into the stomp. He does TP, slowed down by Caustic, but the high movement speed anyway from the ET Spirit just
shutting down a lot of these rotations. And that was the mid player teleporting all the way to the top lane, trying to make a kill happen. It doesn't happen. Miracle gets tower damage and just knocked.
He knows his two supports have that top lane locked down. Bottom lane, however, might be a little bit different. Ramses has a double damage rune and a level 4 Metamorphosis just ready to go. Over, so again, GH understands where the attack is coming. He ends up getting the spirit damage in, so he'll say hello to Roger, plus 66 damage. The GH to beat into that Sand King.
Terrorblade loses a lot of health, but this is the danger territory here for Liquid, because that just means more Sunder potential if they catch a hero out of position. So they have to be very careful, and that's why GH moves these positions.
The Sunstrike!
That was so sick. Roger doing his best there to get close to try to split the Sunstrike damage, but I think he would have had to commit a Burrow Strike to get closer faster. And a great play there by Liquid.
They're going to go for more. With that stun out, Roger has to Burrow Strike himself away. The cold feet will control, mind control Roger! So low on life. He needs some space to regenerate up. GH, he's 9 HP. The Sunstrike will be off the mark. Spirits in 2, 1, 0. GH, he has to get it back under the tower. Chasing Roger, the cold feet. GH will run left. His Spirit runs right. Roger stays alive on 22 HP. Mind control was a little bit too far away to get the extra damage. Save.
Pasha has been around the map, showing up at the right times to pressure the right heroes.
Miracle. He's ready to fight. Go to work while in mid lane. The initiation was onto Matumberman. So a call for court.
Kind of a cool build.
Toss, throwing back into the...
Gotten those last hits on towers, they just certainly be in a big gold advantage right now. Maybe not big, but a gold advantage.
Hiding in the tree line on the bottom is a form and smoke up.
Still a 1-for-1 trade-off as that Lycan had really no say. Went to Miracle during the initiation as the Ice Blast is coming in. It's real problems for Liquid. They get hit by this so hard. Kura is in 9 Miracle. Oh, Miracle gets a revenge. Mind control, can't go anywhere. Locked inside the cold feet. Roger hiding inside the sandstorm, but they had the dust out, so at least they're able to wrap him up. Underneath the tier 3 towers is where Liquid are currently dying. No one in Pasha, just unstoppable.
They're playing so well. I mean, the only thing that went well for Liquid in that fight was that Curl was able to kill his ally so that he couldn't give golden experience to the enemy team, which was a good grab because Invoker was certainly going to die there. But it's only...
currently, ensure the Lycan never gets big, so let's see that fight once more. Kuro, yep. Denies him, then gets doomed himself, so no more influence from the Oracle.
Was doomed, right? Did Invoker get doomed? No, he didn't.
No.
I actually am very confused how he was able to deny him. What am I missing? I'm missing something.
He had Ice Blast, would have been affected by Caustic.
I mean, but the only thing you should be able to is Doom. That's why I'm confused, right?
Infernal?
That should not be deniable. I'm not sure. I really don't know. I'll look at the Reddit thread later, I guess. I'm confused.
Someone will explain it. But for now, Team Liquid are just in recovery mode. That gold graph has really started to spike up. Now almost 10,000 net worth advantage for Virtus Pro, 8,000 for the experience. It's just going to start to increase as Team Liquid, with every single engagement that happens, prove that they're just not able to. So let's see this in slow motion.
All right, Burrow Strike, Ice Blast, looking for debuffs. He was dusted, and he got Purifying Flamed. I saw that part, and then he just denied him. I feel like he shouldn't be able to. I still don't know.
Isn't it an ability from Oracle that can do it?
So, but I might be wrong.
All right.
I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll find out later.
Yep. Let's focus on the hero now. So Team Liquid, they 5-man group up, ready to fight up on top lane.
They don't have these BKBs available yet, just the level 2 Necro books, and they're hoping that VP will oblige them. You were mentioning previously that Virtus.pro one big core kill in favor of Team Liquid can just start to turn this around for all the supports. But that tier 2 tower goes down, and Virtus.pro, they are pushing rapidly into the mid lane, and Team Liquid need to come back. You have TP on the like, and they're trying to get the best trade-off possible. Miracle can slow the push, so the tier 1 tower on top does go the way of Liquid. Miracle getting the last hit on that.
I think I figured it out. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
You're looking back through the combat log, it's going to pester you.
I think it was that Kuro attacked him, which put him within Ice Blast threshold range before the Ice Blast tick caused the kill. So because Kuro was the one to put him below that threshold, he ended up dying, but the source was Oracle. That's why when you attack somebody into threshold range on AA and it gets them low enough, you get the kill on AA, even though technically it was the threshold, you know? It was something like that, but I'm not sure how I was able to attack him, because you should only be able to do that when he's doomed or something. I'm not sure. But I think it was Ice Blast related, pretty sure. Mystery maybe solved.
Maybe solved. Relax, Patch. We'll just focus on the new stuff coming up. I'll give you another thing to debunk. Level 3 Necrobook is now done over on Matumberman, so they'll get a little bit more detection. Difficult when you've got a Shadow Blade from no one already there. Here comes your Ice Blast. The Avalanche will connect Matumba. Broken free with the False Promise. Sunstrike position's really good. So Solid will fall. They're tossing back Mind Control, but Matumberman is trying to battle against no one. Rogers prepping up the epicenter. He'll jump in, goes over towards Koro. Justice there for the reveal, so no way to hide inside the sandstorm. Roger is falling down too. A double kill for Miracle. They're feeding the beast, and I don't mean the dragon. I mean Miracle.
They really needed that after the last couple of fights, and a great initiation with Dragon Knight finally pays off. And the hero that they found was Ancient Apparition. That's the guy that they want to kill. It's by far the squishiest, and that's where Liquid needs to start to win the fights. Unless they can kill something like Tiny or Doom or wait until VP spread out, that's probably the best fight they can look for at the moment.
Matumba's able to get rid of that Observer Ward that Kuro was looking for with the Sentry. So vision gets a little bit more restricted for Virtus.pro, but they've got one that's very, very deep. It's inside the Dire base on the top. So it's watching the Courier coming out with the smoke. Don't know if they actually want to get any kind of information from this at all. But they're going for Roshan. Okay, Virtus.pro.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? I feel like they've been dominating this game for like 15 minutes. Normally when you're winning, what you do is take Roche, but their heroes aren't great at it is the reason that they probably haven't yet. And to even take it, it might take them committing Metamorphosis, which...
And the ET Spirit's going to come and have a look. So yeah, okay, they know.
This is hard to do, right? Because the ET Spirit can scout it out. You have Metamorphosis, which then makes the next couple of fights a little bit weird. But I think it's definitely time for them to go for this.
Well, it looks like Liquid are not going to do anything about contesting it. Miracle's pushing the bottom lane with Forge Spirits. The Stomp is just slowing things down. The Wolves hoping for a deny, but it won't happen. Sunstrike, the timing. Oh, it was close, but not close enough.
Not a bad attempt. But that puts TB very close to his own BKB, and he's definitely been the core that's been focused in all of these early engagements. And that's not going to be possible anymore unless he gets chain stunned into Sunstrike. But if he is ready for the fight, he's going to pop the BKB early. He's going to walk in and he's going to get full damage attribution.
Team Liquid are on the way. The Ice Blast into the bottom lane to do a little bit of scouting. It won't find anybody. So Virtus.pro, no one's hunting on the bottom lane, and they don't see anyone inside the base of Team Liquid. So they're on full retreat. And the Observer Ward will give nice high ground vision for Liquid, but no one is close by. So right now, Liquid, if they're going to get something out of this, it's that bottom tower. Maybe it'll help when Pasha TP's in like this.
They don't know, though, necessarily.
But there's no Metamorphosis. This is the issue now for Virtus.pro. They don't have that high down. Dairy TP's coming. Blink, Doom, Miracle is the primary target. Kuro going to start giving him the life. They need to keep him alive for the moment. But Toss throwing Ramses in deep into the fight. And the Ice Blast is going to help out hugely. Connecting onto Miracle. Ice Blast and Doom. Goodbye, Invoker. Pasha will lose his life for this, however. So it's a 1-for-1 trade-off. That's a big streak to end for Matumberman as Ramses getting tossed up near Matumberman. He needs that extra damage, and Matumberman can just get back out again. No avalanche, no stun, no control.
The snack was just too tempting for Doom there. He gets the 200 gold, but he kills himself in the process. But ultimately,
that's what happened.
That is what happened. Ultimately, very good for VP, grabbing the kill. His initiation was missed slightly, but now they're going to catch Oracle as well, and that's 2 dead heroes, and it's time to go high ground here.
Yep. GH has to delay this 27 seconds. The fortification is not available for Team Liquid, and the stuns, Mind Control. Terrorblade put to sleep for the moment. They lost their courier as well in the middle of all of that.
Someone on Liquid misclicking apparently, but or angry. Could be feeding, you never know.
They do not earn this buyback on the Invoker. They need more time. Ramses, they can't work out if they can kill off the range and the melee, so no one's attacking the melee. Ramses attacking the range racks. They both avoid the stomp. And it's battling on either side, but Invoker is up. Ramses is low. You know we would love a Sunder. The Sunstrike in the backline. Solo almost walked back into it.
The way they're
and where's the jump?
So
no one. He goes in deep. EMP Tornado with the Ice Path and the Stomp. It actually catches two of them. Here comes your Ice Blast. Miracle to get caught with this one. Mataman lucky to be knocked, but then again the mirror. It's just the images coming out from Terrorblade. They're their own worst enemy team. Liquid, no one. He may even get out this one with the Inferno Blade stopping the DK. No one is living in the tree lines. Mind Control can't reach him. Liquid were battling inside the base, and Mind Control is stranded outside of it. Breathe Fire can't even reach no one. VP's positioning. It's the perfect split.
The only thing that goes bad is A being tossed in, but VP is just outmaneuvering Liquid at this point. They have better diving heroes, they've got survivability, they've got Aegis. The way that Ramses was even pressuring the racks was extremely safe. But also trying to think one step ahead of them, but VP just has the advantage here, and they're playing slightly better.
This is beyond problematic for Team Liquid. Virtus Pro claim the entire mid racks, they will back out. Things were looking a little bit okay for Liquid, even with that bottom fight. The trade-offs for the streak that was taken away from the Doombringer. The money was good for Liquid, but they just couldn't hold after Occult got picked, and they couldn't delay long enough for Miracle to be in fighting shape.
On the bright side, there is going to be a lull here, so that's going to allow Liquid to finally move across the map a bit, and Miracle does have enough levels now where he feels comfortable using Wex spells as well. And it helped a little bit in the fights, but they're still having some lockdown problems, and VP's still team fighting very smart. They're always going for the back line, hitting up Oracle as he comes forward to try to defend an ally. Always looking for those opportunities, and their heroes are just scaling so well with their items. Tiny Shadowblade into AC, now he's going to buy a BKB. That thing's going to last for a very long duration, for a long period of time in this game. And when you're up against an Invoker, that's the exact item you need to try to prevent Miracle from being able to solo carry the game.
Going to seem like an eternity for Team Liquid in those engagements. How do you control? I'm still not feeling the power from Lycan. With the plate mail, at least he's got some armor to work with, but he's still so under-leveled.
Yeah, that's actually a big issue. It's just, how does he damage somebody like Doom who has a plate mail already? And all these guys have BKBs, so it's not even like he gets to stand there and auto-attack. He has to fear these AoEs that come through, like Burrow Strike and Ice Blast. See, if he knows he gets caught by those, it's going to severely limit his ability to dive, and he has to worry about getting killed just with a stun or two.
Yep.
It's a tough fight for him, so he needs to be able to stay alive, be around for some of these hero kills, then he could catapult ahead in levels.
Yep.
Or really, Liquid would probably be happy with any deaths that they can get on the enemy team.
No, they would have been ecstatic just getting the kill on Pasha.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is beyond hard. They need to get a better vision advantage. They need that initiation stun to work for Liquid to get back into this. In the meantime, Virtus Pro just has to keep the status quo, continuously farming very effectively, especially when you have, like, Doombringer's already so far in front. And like, he's catching up to the Invoker at this point to claim the top 3 positions. Devour's always going to help with this.
That's a free Midas, right? Doesn't actually have to buy his own, so
yep.
His team's winning. He's doing really well, 6-1 and 7 here.
Liquid are preparing again on bottom lane. They're hoping for a good engagement, so Lycan just keeps the pressure up. Miracle can give some Forge Spirits. Not certain if they can really force this engagement.
They're in slightly better positioning than they were before, though, because Dragonite finally finished his BKB, so at the least he doesn't have to worry about being in danger. He can just try to maximize his damage. Not that there's a lot of it right now. He's even going the health perk over the damage, but
the top lane's also pushing in.
And they have to do moves like this. Yeah, they're going to get Ice Blasted, and sometimes VP will just avoid the kills, but Liquid does have to make these maneuvers outside of their base, otherwise there's no way they'll catch up, because VP will just be able to split up a little bit. They have the better individual gankers and the better 2-hero gankers, whereas Liquid can't get caught by themselves or separately, because there's just going to be a second Rax, and at that point, the chances of winning the game are going to be so much lower.
Yeah, because their counter push is terrible compared to Virtus Pro's. Like, Virtus Pro can just start cleaving through waves. Even SK by himself is a great split pusher.
And they just have better catch too. A lot more Blink Daggers, more Shadow Blades, 3 Blinks on VP side. Liquid has some, but if their heroes get caught, they're almost for sure dead. Yep. Lycan included, really.
And they're going to start to get kited. That Skadi is rapidly approaching for Ramses.
That'll be pretty nice.
It'll be difficult for anyone to keep up in the fights. But Virtus Pro being very patient about it all. They still have a tier 2 tower in the bottom lane to bring down. They're using the Ice Blast to keep this push under control.
As a whole, though, the Scotty won't do that much against Liquid's heroes. I mean, if Lycan's in ulti form, he doesn't really care that much. Maybe Dragonite is definitely countered by it once he pops BKB, but it's probably just a safe survivability, tankiness item, the standard Terrorblade transition, and he wants HP more than something like Raw Butterfly, so nothing that weird about his build, and it's not necessarily going to super counter his opponents, but it's definitely the right item to pick up here.
I like how the couriers say hi to get that, so the Shiva's guard flies up to the Radiant secret shop.
Yep, definitely a lot safer, and that's Matumba Mance.
Yep.
Kind of an interesting item choice here, but it will get slow against the enemy team, and reduce their attack speed is very useful this game, especially against TB Illusions.
And he really needed something, but buyback-wise, it's not a happy place for him. No one apart from the ET has buyback on Team Liquid. So as the push comes high ground, not seeing VP force it, they can just go for the easier target, which will be the Shrine, making sure Liquid cannot TP in behind them. It was opened up after they took out that mid lane of Rax.
But they've got a gem as well at this point with their advantage, so any wards that Liquid wants are probably not going to be around. Now, they do have wolves at least. They can scout with those, and that's what they've been doing very heavily.
They're coming right
but
quickly.
They can also just eat the wolves, so...
Where's your first target? Danger. Miracle, Ramses, the smoke breaks. They know someone's in the trees. GH, wait for the spirit. Necrobook's being burned as well. But what about Invis? Roger's nearby. Microphone needs a good jump stun, and now he's found it. It's no one's tiny, but the BKB comes up, and here comes Pasha as well. Ice Blast, no! Miracle's in huge walls of problem. Kuro can't save him anymore. The ET splitter will buy some level of space for Team Liquid, but Miracle, he'll pop in just a second, and that second is now. Mind Control can't retreat either. They're right behind him, slowed down by the Skadi. The ET Stomp creates a little bit of space. Blink Dagger now off cooldown, down the river.
No way, is it follow him? Okay. I didn't know if that was going to keep going all the way, but basically what won that team fight was status resistance on Tiny. He was initiated on. He should have been bursted in that moment, but all of a sudden he gets to pop BKB far earlier than a normal hero. And that's because any stuns that hit him only last for like 50% of the duration. So Tiny ends up getting his BKB off, and all of a sudden Liquid's initiation turns around the other way. Even with Invoker getting doomed, at least if they kill Tiny, the fight would have been winnable in some ways.
Yep. It's like the perfect situation for Team Liquid, apart from the fact that it was Tiny. Pick any other hero into that position.
Or they would have had to have some kind of disable follow-up or knowledge that he was going to be there. That way they could all do as much damage as possible in like the first second or so before his BKB gets popped. But it's a hard position to chain stun that guy, and because he buys the BKB late, even doing physical damage through that feels impossible.
Virtus Pro are on the hunt once more. Team Liquid have been burning a lot of smokes, but you know what VP are looking for? It's Matumberman. He's walking directly into them. No one, Avalanche Toss, Ice Blast, boom.
Dude.
Goodbye, Lycan.
They're playing so safe. They were smoked. They walked past bounty runes without picking them up because they did not want to let Liquid see the bounties disappearing. Like, they know kills are all that matters here. They don't want to gamble on anything with this huge advantage.
Well, this is how they get their opportunity, just to take that high ground, take the game, and potentially be one match away from eliminating Team Liquid.
Doom does provide the solutions. Invoker and Miracle especially has in many cases carried his team from a position like this with just amazing use of spell abilities. But Ags is pretty countered if you get doomed and you can't cast a spell for a whole 16 seconds. And that's what makes this tough. Every team that fights, or every time that they end up fighting and Doom goes on Invoker, Oracle can save him potentially if their fight goes about even, but he's been having trouble doing that and also staying alive.
It'd be so hard as well to get away from Pasha. He stole the Purge creep. So he's got Blink Purge with the Shivas, with the Infernal Blade, with the Doom. He's just a disable central.
And the cooldown's so low, and he's got so much mana, this is fine. He could just basically permanently chase whoever he dooms and go for the kill. And now I feel like if Liquid had won the laning stage a little bit more, and then they were doing stuff like sieging towards VP side, then Oracle would look like an amazing hero right now. But he doesn't have any items to defend himself other than Wand. So it's like every fight starts, he's not feeling as much impact as we've seen in the other games when Oracle has been played by Kuro. Very hard game for Liquid when they're trying to catch up here.
But they're getting as much space as they can, forcing out the top lane, but they're committing a lot just to get Miracle.
Scanning.
I mean, that's basically what they need. They've got Lincoln Sphere. BKB afterwards would certainly solve some issues, especially because if he BKBs, then the only way to break Lincoln's, most likely, he would have to get an ensnare creep on Doom, or I think that's about it. Only thing that'll go through BKB. Abyssal Blade.
Butterfly is done for Ramses. You got a Crystallis into the Tiny. Her damage increase for no one. He wants the full Daedalus. He's going to hit hard, especially if they can give him extra life. 10 seconds till Roshan will spawn up. Virtus.pro just have to be patient as the line gets drawn. Not quite certain if that one's actually drawn by no one. Cutting the line down the mid lane. So Roshan's up, and VP should be able to take this quite comfortably. Aegis and Cheese and Roshan.
Oh, the gem that Liquid has, they actually stole it from Arthur when he died in the last fight. They must have snuck that one out of there. It's something to work for, at least. Now they feel like they have better control over the area near them. And with Elder Titan, they can definitely scout all the weird spots very easily with no resources. So they scout that Roche is being done, but will they? They're kind of shifting over, but I think they're going to be too late.
It's way too late. The only place they can find from is inside the base when they got buybacks. They got buybacks on TKAA as well as the ET.
And the turtling continues.
And Doom.
Cheese is going to sit on the Tiny in case he wants to use it. TB's ability to just respawn, I mean, even getting killed in the first place looks hard. 2600 HP on Terrible with the 9-second
miracle. He actually just jumped on the back, putting out the Cataclysm. He wants to kill quickly onto Solo, remove that negative regeneration. They're not just the Sand King, it's just the stun, but there's so much damage behind. Miracle just gets destroyed. DK is now doomed up too, and Liquid is split into multiple parts. No way for Kuro. Well, he'll try his TP, but that will not be successful. He knows there's not enough regeneration to stop him from popping.
They're still on the backline though. Dragon Knight's Doom has just ran out. Maybe they can go back in and find a kill?
Maybe, no, but you don't have the Invoker, and no one's actually looking towards mind control.
When he needs to blink, oh, he gets hit. This is really bad now.
Turns for a dragon stun. He'll be able to blink. He can TP as well if he'd like to, but it's inside the base. Ramses has burned the Metamorphosis, feeding into that melee racks. GH is there to help out. Meanwhile, Matoman caught outside the base. Whoops indeed, and GG is called out from Liquid. They were trying so many things, but none of it working. Virtus.pro, clean and surgical in their attack. Take game one.
The lane win against the Lycan just proved very, very beneficial to them. VP as a whole just was able to get more farm and transition into these